Sarah was 10 minutes late to the restaurant. Her friend Melody had invited Sarah to lunch, but there had been some last-minute problems at the office, and she had been delayed for a while. Melody smiled when she saw her friend. "You're late." It was more of an observation than a complaint. The office was going to be crazy today. Barely made it out. They spent the next 10 minutes chatting idly, looking at menus and ordering. "So, have you thought about what I asked?" Melody hoped her friend would say yes. Sarah took a deep breath. "This is crazy. Do you know what happens if you get caught? It was more of a statement than a question. No one's going to catch me. It's just a one-time thing. Bill's going to be out of town. We're going out of town to a place where nobody knows us. We'll be fine." The famous last words of everyone who ever thought they were too smart to get caught. Melody giggled at her friend's concern. "I know you're only trying to protect me, but I've got it all covered. Bill will never know, and what he doesn't know won't hurt us." "You're so damn sure of yourself. This will be your undoing. You know that, don't you? You can't anticipate everything in the world. You're worried sick. Everything's going to be all right." Sarah shook her head, looking at her foolish friend. "Maybe it will be. Maybe it won't." "Relax," Melody said. "Either way, it's my headache. All I want you to do is provide me with an alibi. Bill probably won't even ask, but if it comes up in conversation, you can just tell him we had a good time and hope to do it again soon." She giggled at her own joke. "That's exactly what I'm worried about. You're not stopping at just one time. You say it's once and that's it, but you'll do it again. Maybe with the same guy or maybe with someone else, but you won't stop at just one time." Sarah was growing increasingly annoyed with her friend. "You worry too much, Sarah. We go shopping together all the time. This time you'll just go alone and we'll meet later to register our appointment." For a moment, they were silent. Sarah was still considering the request, and Melody hoped that she would agree. At that moment, Sarah noticed the woman at the next table watching them. She had a look of terrible sadness on her face. Melody and Sarah stared at the woman, one seeing the pain written on the woman's face, and the other seeing the annoyance. "Do you mind? We're having a private conversation." The woman looked at them and didn't answer Melody's challenge. In a quiet voice, she said, "Perhaps I can help you with your decision. Let me tell you a story about a foolish woman. Once upon a time, there was a woman who had everything. She had a loving and handsome husband, 2 wonderful children, a job she loved, and a house that was a home in every sense of the word. She had everything, but she wanted more. She became complacent, and at times she became bored with her life. She lost sight of what was important. There was a man where she worked. He was younger, good-looking, and knew just the right thing to say. They started going to lunch together. Lunches became longer and turned into dinners. Conversations became more intimate. Dinner turned into dancing. And pretty soon they were planning to go to bed together. It would only be once, but one turned into 2, and so on, until it became common for them to just sneak away and be together. She needed an alibi for all her overtime and Saturday shopping trips, so she recruited her friend to lie for her. The friend decided it was none of her business and agreed somewhat reluctantly. She got sloppy, and then she got caught. Her husband was furious. She ran away from home thinking he would eventually calm down, but he never did. His friend stopped him from doing something stupid, but he declared war on anyone who knew about the cheating. He told the husband of the friend who was providing an alibi for his wife, and the husbands of all the other friends who knew about it, or who he thought might know about it. Soon the husbands stopped trusting their wives, and once the trust was gone, the woman just sat there, immersed in her memories, and shook her head. Finally, she looked at Melody. One woman's itchy pussy has ruined 4 marriages and caused 4 divorces. Ironically, even her boyfriend moved on to greener pastures. She was left with nothing. Melody looked at the woman and felt genuinely sorry for her, but was sure she was just being silly. "I'm sorry you got caught, but your mistake was turning it into an affair. I'll be more careful. It's just one time and done. My husband will never find out, so it's no big deal." The woman looked at Melody with a look that could best be described as disgust. "Oh, you misunderstand. I never cheated on my husband." The woman turned to face Sarah. "I was the fool who provided her alibi." There was silence at the 2 tables after that. The woman finished her drink, slipped a few bills under her glass, gathered her things, and left. All the while, the sadness never left her. Sarah turned to Melody and said too quietly for anyone else to hear, "I'm leaving. If you do this, it will be without me. I won't lie for you." With those words, she grabbed her purse and left. Sarah thought about how every minute she spent with her friend was putting both herself and her own marriage in increasing danger. Melody was dangerous, and the cost of being friends with her was too high.